it's not something.
Are you with us, Leah?
Not anymore. Not anymore. Where am I?
Okay.
This makes all the sense.
It was the whole opening line of why he's
I didn't know that's what you said. I have bad hearing. I was adopted. I'm sorry. I was neglected as a child. I don't know hearing. I didn't.
Welcome to Help Me, I'm Single. I'm matchmaker and dating coach Blaine Anderson, and we are here to help brave and occasionally incompetent singles figure out their dating lives. Today, Jacob is joining us, and we are going to discuss the right time to share that you're a virgin, why being unemployed doesn't have to hold you back dating, and how growing up with a single, very religious mom shaped his dating life. Here to help me unpack everything is the hilarious and unfiltered Lea'h Sampson, who had an odd amount in common with Jacob. Let's get into it.
Hey, I'm Jacob. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I'm a project manager in the games and tech industry. Welcome to Help Me, I'm Single.
Perfect. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And Leah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Well, Jacob, why don't you start by telling us what brought you here today? What's going on in your dating life? What can we be helpful with?
So right now my dating life is a little bit on a pause. The last date I went on was probably about a year ago. And I guess the shortest story of a longer form story is that I don't have a lot of experience when it comes to dating. I had a very big growth spurt, I'm very much a late bloomer. So growing up, I grew up an only child with a single mom, kind of sheltered. Grew up very religious, very much not religious, like in the slightest, these days. But yeah, that's how it was when I was in college or in high school. In college, I started to socialize a lot more. And so it's not really so much the social aspect, but now that I'm in my 30s, like I said, just internally, I can get dates. I am on the apps, and I am able to land dates, but just internally, I've been to therapy for this, but I get in my own head about my lack of experience is a concern. And so none of those dates, with the exception of one, have ended up turning into a second date. And there was a lot of various reasons for that. But yeah, I guess that's why.
Okay, so to summarize, we are here to help you get over the fact that you are a late bloomer, inexperienced, and help you try and land more first dates and get more second dates and get some dating experience. So that's part of it. I think another aspect of it too is right now my dating life's kind of on a pause. I've actually been out of work or out of full-time work for 3 years now. So that definitely has been that definitely has impacted my dating life to a pretty significant degree. The date that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. And I get it. So the last date
at least you get it.
I understand that.
It's a self-imposed pause.
Yeah. Is
that accurate?
No, it's not.
Definitely
so I'm gonna let him talk, and then I'm gonna Dr. Phil this real quick. But go ahead.
I agree with you.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
32. Yeah. May I ask your ethnicity?
Hispanic.
But keep going. We got you.
So like I said, I have the last girl that I dated that did come up as most of the time the lack of experience that doesn't really come up on dates. Most first dates they don't most people don't go around asking you oh hey, tell me about all your sex partners and dating partners.
Well, it depends on what they're drinking.
It depends on what they're drinking, yeah. But most of the time that doesn't really usually come up. Most people just assume you have, most
Okay, so let's ask the question that everyone's thinking right now. Lack of experience, what does that mean?
I've made out, a few times.
This is before your late bloomer,
No, this was after. Mm-hmm. It was part of the blooming process.
It was tiptoeing, creeping in.
Of the blooming. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so virgin.
Yeah.
Okay.
The topic hasn't usually come up in, most of my dates have not progressed to a second date, so it hasn't really come up.
Yeah, don't be bringing that up on the first date.
I wouldn't be bringing that up, yeah.
Well, actually, do you have a plan for bringing it up? Are you going to tell the girl before?
I wouldn't outright. If I'm asked about it, I would tell the truth. But if I'm not asked about it and, let's say a date goes really well and things do progress, if I'm not explicitly asked about it, I'm not going to bring it up.
Sorry, can I
Yes,
intervene?
please.
Okay, so I have a theory on this, and I feel like it goes for both men and women. If you tell a girl, hey, XYZ about me, my thing is I'm going to do those things because I know that if I do them, you'll stay with me because they stay with that person. And I feel like that's kind of what you're saying. It's like,
If he says I've never had sex with someone, then they'll be like, oh, well, I'm not going to be the one to do it because like no one else has.
or vice versa, both.
Exactly.
They'll be the girl that's like, I'm not gonna be the one that's gonna, because I've been that girl before. I've had a guy be like, hey, I'm a virgin. I was like, I am allergic to minors, and so I just walk away. But it can also be a thing of, you're not really experienced, so let me like take advantage of you. Let me like do something, like let me do some things that and I think that exists on both.
But maybe he would like that if she was like, yeah, let me. Like,
No, he will
be the one.
because he's a late. No, you would. You're a late bloomer. Yes, you will. I'm a late bloomer as well, and that's why I'm a full-on crash out. But it's like I think as a late bloomer, especially like I'm 31 and you're 32. You said I feel like in our 30s, like which isn't old, of course, but it's like I was the same way. I was raised very religiously. I was raised.
Interesting.
Oh yes, you would. That's why.
Both of you.
Yes, I was raised very and you see the boots, very Texas Southern.
Did you feel like your family was like that too? Like part of your like hesitancy to date or to get out there was because of the religious aspect?
That was definitely part of it. Yeah.
I think they mean well. I do think they mean well.
Okay, so you grew up religious. When did you start to realize like, okay, this like doesn't have to hold me back? You said when you went to college, that's when you started to become more
well,
social?
even like on top of the religious thing, I was just like very, very, very introverted in high school. I had, I had friends, but like I never went out to a party or anything like that. I just stayed in and played video games all day.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, that on top of not, I didn't have any siblings growing up.
Oh, only child?
Huh?
You're the only child?
Only child and also single parent. So that's
your
also
mom.
single mom. So that's also another aspect. According to my therapist, that's also another aspect. I never got to see, a male and female relationship in
At least
my life.
something healthy, at least. Like,
Yeah. Well, like any kind. My mom's been single the entire time I've been alive. My mom's been single the entire
Wow, so there was no male role model of masculinity
Exactly.
and talking to women and how to treat women.
Exactly.
Like when the toilet broke, you said gross versus
Getting in there and fixing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's all like, it's not just one singular thing. It's a whole combination of
I think it always is. And you know what? And first of all, I'm so happy to be on this podcast with you and for you inviting me because I love this kind of topic. It's so much, when it comes to dating, it's so deeper. There's so many elements, and that's what, can I say piss? Can I curse? Can I say the N-word?
Bring it on.
What pisses me off is that like we act like there's like, everything is like really one-dimensional or I can't count really, like, whatever dimensional. It's not. The same reason why like there is that stereotype about men where it's like, okay, y'all are just like always horny and this and the other, which I'll say this, I do think men are horny all the time, but I think what separates the right horny man versus the wrong horny man is that control of being, yes, let's keep it a buck. You want to have sex with me. That's fine, which I hope you would because, again, daddy issues. But don't,
Well, it sounds like Jacob's got lots of self-control.
But I also feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, because you are a late bloomer, have you been in a space where you felt like you tiptoed into dating and all that kind of stuff, but do you feel like there was a moment where you were just kind of wilding out and like you felt like you were doing too much, but also you're like, but I was never able to do this, like, you know what I mean?
No, not.
All right, so I'm the criminal here. Okay.
No. The no is no. I don't know what you mean. Like,
well, like, have you? Okay, it's like for instance, like I can't speak for you, but I'm just imagining like when you first started like dating and being a grown adult, being 21. Did you realize a shift, or did you have a shift of like just dating people, being cool with it, and then you were like, oh, I'm getting, because as you said,
I'm like getting some physical
right, exactly.
action.
It's like you get to that point where like, oh, I can get women. Like
like all the time.
Exactly. So I'm going to indulge in that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Not too bad, but like women have like cold approached me.
Yeah, yeah.
before,
Wow.
like, more than once.
I think it's the mustache thing.
Exactly. That's
Yes,
exactly what I was going
and
to
this
say.
I think it's the mustache and this economy.
Specifically the mustache. I get told I look like Freddie Mercury all the time.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that.
So on Halloween, I was actually dressed up as Freddie Mercury. And I was
And the chicks were swarming.
yeah, no. I was at a show, Vagaboys. If anyone on the podcast is listening, super awesome post punk band.
Yeah.
But they were playing, and this girl just like asked to climb on top of my shoulders, and she
As
did.
we did.
Did you put her up there
Yeah, for
and
like-
pop her
Yes,
around?
yeah.
Yeah,
I-
for like 2 whole songs.
I know all
Yeah,
this.
Two whole songs.
yeah. Mind you, these are like 5-minute songs. So I had her on my back for like a good long
Yeah.
ride. And then afterwards, she comes down and she says her name, whatever her name was. I honestly, it was just so loud. I also like part of me was also like, you're cute and everything, but like I'm
Yeah,
trying to see
yeah.
the band.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm here for the band.
Girl, oh, we
Dude,
love
you
good-
want to get laid or not? So did you get
But-
her phone number?
No, I didn't get anything.
Why?
Because you chose not to. You chose not to.
Or that.
You were too into the band?
Into the band. Also, I was
Can't be a
tripping
good
balls,
band.
so that was
Okay.
also part of it. She seemed also pretty drunk. So,
The tripping balls is the best excuse
Yeah.
to not have gotten her number for the follow-up.
So the issue is that you're single right now,
yeah.
and you don't know why.
No, I know.
Well,
So I hear. No.
It's the whole being single, and then also, like I said, the long-term unemployment.
Okay, yeah.
That's probably
Wait,
actually
we
the
can't
big
help with
part.
the employment part, but I do understand
Yeah.
why that could be holding you back. So, like, put that aside. Let's actually talk about that. How you frame it is important here.
Yes,
If you're telling
yes.
yourself, I'm unemployed, so I'm
Right.
undateable, like, ugh, this sucks. Like, yeah, you're going to be undateable.
Right, right.
But you said you do freelance work, right?
Well, that's the story I say. Right now, I haven't had freelance work in like a year.
Oh,
Can
okay.
you
but-
yeah.
can you cook? Can you bake cookies? Can you like
Yes, I can.
slang lollipops? Can you like you're just not doing any kind of work?
No. So
Do you live with your mom?
No.
Is she alive?
Yeah, she is alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is she paying your rent?
This month, only for this month.
Okay, so I like that you did lead with your freelancer. It is important to have a story about your employment.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm glad
So
you
I
didn't-
wouldn't go on a Thursday and say, "Oh, I've been unemployed for 3 years."
Okay, good.
That's
Good.
not
We're
usually,
happy to hear
you
it.
know. The story I frame it, and also even in job interviews, I say this
Yeah.
too. I say, I'm freelance, or I'm contracting, or I'm in between jobs.
And I translate
Which is
that as poor.
100%.
And I think a smart woman will also do that. Here's the tea, though, Jacob. A girl will accept you if, and I know this because I was born from one. A woman will, will
Oh, you too?
Oh, hey, twin. A woman will accept you if you don't have a job, if you don't have money, if you don't. Again, it's the language. It's how you present it to her, and also I'll be honest. I was telling this little guy I was talking to, my next victim. I was telling him because we were talking, and he was like, "Well, I don't think I make as much money as you," and I was like, "The best guys I've ever been with, like ever, were the ones that did not make a lot of money. It was the guys that were super rich, 6 figures, all that. Because I've been there. They were the worst men I've ever dated in my life,
Interesting.
and some of them would make me want to pay for shit. But the point is, you can still get a woman with your situation. It's just the language.
It's all about how you frame it.
It's all
Gotta
about how you
market it
frame
right.
it, and also kind of give it's one of those things where it's like, if you tell the girl like, "Oh, I'm broke," and it's like that's it.
yeah.
But if you go, "I'm broke, but this is my plan. This is my transition that I'm trying to go through. Whatever, blah blah." She's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, it's gonna happen. Like,
As long as she likes the other things about you, yeah.
Yeah,
I
100%.
totally agree. It's all about the framing.
Yeah.
So I don't think that has to hold you back, although I do understand wanting to spend time focusing on getting a job because eventually,
Yeah,
like,
for
you,
sure.
you do need a job.
I want.
I mean,
some
and
form
you need
of
at least to
stability,
be able to
yeah.
afford to get her like a Lunchable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You
Go
have
on
that.
that
And that's
Yeah.
and see, that's the position I'm in now. I can't even afford to go on a coffee date.
It's not going to be for everyone, but I agree as long as you bring other things to the table. If you're fun
Yeah.
to be around, if you're confident, if you're supportive, if
Yes.
you make her feel
Yes.
great, like there will be
It'll
plenty
work.
of women who still want to date you.
Yes, I've seen it.
And I
It will
think
work.
a lot of men make the mistake of, even men who have jobs, is they're, oh, I need to get to X point in my career, or
Right.
I need to climb to this point, and then I'll be able to spend
Yeah.
time dating. And then the next thing they knew, no, they're 30, they're 40, they're
Right.
50, and they haven't had a meaningful relationship because they've
Yes.
waited for so long.
Every guy that's ever told me, "Hey, I really like you, I want to be with you, but I just got a lot going on," I immediately break off because we're adults, babes. Newsflash, we're gonna always have something going on.
Yeah.
We're gonna always have inconveniences. We're gonna always sometimes make a lot of money and then be broke, and then sometimes have our own house and have to move in with our parents. It's just like there's always gonna be something that happens. So when I hear that, I'm like, oh, you just don't want to do life with me, and that's cool. that's the point of being with somebody. It's
Yeah, you
like,
work through it together.
You work through it together. You figure it out. And the couples, I swear to this day, I was just thinking about them a couple of days ago. There's this couple specifically, but I know so many couples married now, got a house, got kids. I watched it. I used to be in the bar scene. I used to bartend. I watched these two hood rats or these two bar rats like come together. They were not at their best, didn't have no money at all, but they just
and build something together.
and just
That's a good
stuck with
point.
it.
Especially you're at an age where you're 32, so you can date women in their early to mid 20s. That's like very
have
reasonable.
good range.
They have lower expectations around where you are financially.
Yeah, the only
Right.
problem is like probably like 24, 25 is like pushing it for me. Anyone younger than that, like they just look like a fucking kid to me.
That's great you said that,
because
because I believe Chris Hansen is a fan of this show. I'm very happy you said that. Yeah.
No, I think 25 is a good age range
Yeah.
for you. And then like they don't have that much money either, so like they won't really like know,
Right.
you know?
And I think like I will say like I don't know, I try to be devil's advocate, but we're just in a weird time where it's like everyone's tough on money, like male or female. I do feel like I don't know if y'all heard this, but like the whole like men are going through their own pandemic of being lonely.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a bunch of horseshit.
Huh?
I,
Thank
male-
you. It is.
The male
it
loneliness
is.
epidemic. Why do you think it's horseshit?
Because he gets pussy. Sorry,
yeah.
But he doesn't.
but he gets pussy.
But I could.
I can't. Okay,
But no,
look.
that's the thing. You could. I always say this to my male friends. Like they fight me on this. They're like, "You're wrong." I'm like, "No, I think it is easy, and I think you'll like where I'm going with this." Because like this is something I wrote down in my journal. I was like, "Oh, this is fire," but no, I think it's because everyone says, especially you're gorgeous. Everyone says, "Oh, you can get any man. You can get any," and it's like, do you see the man that are out there? You think, yeah. If I want to fuck them, sure, it could happen. You are more fortunate to find a woman that will not only sleep with you, but that wants to be with you for no reason. She'll just want to be with you because we're programmed to
I do agree that the bar is relatively low right now. If you're able to
Very
show
low.
up, like you don't need the job. Like
Right.
the job is not a requirement
Right,
right now. If you're able to show up and like do the right things, there are going to be women who are interested in
And
dating
good
you.
women.
And to be clear, I know you grew up religious, but that's no longer it's not holding you back in terms of
No, not
physicality.
at all.
You want-
I'm like very strictly atheist. I used to be open to
Strictly.
Yeah.
God bless.
Well, I used to be like open to agnostic and spiritual, but the last girl I dated was agnostic /
She's a witch?
spiritual. No, she also came from a religious background, but she still wants to have like some sort of relationship with God, just like not specifically Christianity. And now looking back, now I realize, no, I don't want to date anyone who's spiritual or agnostic. I want like straight atheist.
you have to date an atheist.
I would prefer, yeah, to date an atheist.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
I don't want. I don't want.
criteria.
You can't do that in Texas. We gotta get out of Texas because I feel like even the people here that are like somewhat like witchy and all that, they still kind of have a little bit of some
I guess
spirituality.
Richie's like fine. I guess. I just don't want anyone who's like confused
Sure.
about their religion. Like I made that decision. I'm like
Yeah.
I'm pretty firmly like
Got you.
atheist. I'm not gonna change my mind.
But you're cool with crystals.
I guess. Like, whatever floats your boat, man.
Okay.
You don't want to cut out crystals. You'll lose the entire population of Austin if you can't. If you
Everyone.
can't have a crystal collection.
Everyone. All of
Okay,
them.
so tell us about the last date you went on. You said it's been a year. Where did you meet that girl?
Actually, funny story. We met originally at the gym. We were kind of eye fucking each other for a while, and then we matched on Hinge. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like how you said I fucking, and she was probably like, "Who is this man?" that
No,
you're
those are the
saying?
terms she used.
Made eye contact
Yeah,
once.
those are the specific terms she used.
Well, I don't know. It seems that you also you got girls climbing on your shoulders. You
Right,
got girls
yeah,
eye fucking
but
you at the
like,
gym.
actually, I think
So what's
3 are
going on?
outside right now
Why
waiting
is
for
there
you.
not? Why is that not translating to any sex, any dates, any girlfriends?
Yeah, I mean it's it's the whole combination of, I mean the lack of experience, the lack of sexual and relationship experience, not having like any form of place to call home.
Oh,
Wait, are you homeless?
No, I'm not homeless, but I am about to be.
that
Yeah, see, because again, I can't pay rent. Yeah, I mean my
Someone
place-
get this man a job.
but he's in Austin. There are women that will take every homeless man gets pussy.
No,
All of them.
I live in a shitty apartment with 4 other roommates.
Do you share a bedroom?
No, I don't show up. I do have my own bedroom. Well, I have a cat.
You don't have
I
your
show
own.
up at
You don't have
bedroom.
your own bathroom.
You live in an apartment with 4 roommates, and then you share a bedroom with your cat.
Ladies and gentlemen, Austin, Texas. This is.
But no, it's at the point where I would be straight up. I would never invite anyone over to my place. I would
God
be straight
bless,
up
yeah.
embarrassed.
Why is it like?
The place is infested with roaches, and I was like, exactly. That's going back to the girl who climbed on my shoulder. I was like,
What are you gonna do? Bring her back to your roach-infested apartment to meet your
I don't
cat?
want to go to that. I don't want like to invite a girl over to my place and then she's all like fucking traumatized, and then I have to go to the traumatic experience. I'd rather just kind of put up with that. So I'd rather just not invite anyone over.
No.
So
I'm finding this out in real time. Yes, your roach-infested apartment is a problem. But can't you? You don't have a job. Why can't you like kill the roaches and like?
because the
spiff
roaches fucking
things
live
up?
there. I live in the roach in the roach.
They were there first.
They were
Bitch,
there
no,
first.
that's
you
their
need-
apartment. That's
It's
not his
their
apartment.
apartment,
It's
yeah.
the Roach's apartment.
You're cohabitating.
They're
with
subletting
roaches.
this motherfucker.
yeah.
That's what's happening.
And look, I would love to just
I
like
like that,
fucking,
okay.
I would just fucking love to just bomb the place. But I have a friend who's been an exterminator for like a decade, and he told me
He's been what for a decade?
an exterminator. He used to
Get
work-
him over.
No, but so that he told me like once you get to a certain point, like you can't really get rid of them. The roaches just kind of live there unless you like just completely gas up the place. And
Are
unfortunately,
your roommates cool just coexisting with roaches?
well, one of them's lived there for 7 years, and he just assumed that
He's one of them.
he just kind of
like a
assumed that the
ninja
roaches-
turtle. He just morphed
Yeah.
into a fucking.
He just kind of
like,
assumed that the roaches just, roaches are just like a thing in every
part of
apartment.
life.
They're just like a part of life in every apartment.
Me and my synthetic wig are
yeah.
itching right now just with this conversation.
Yeah, and then there was like,
Not-
there was another roommate that was like straight
Bruh.
up like crazy, pulled a knife on one of my other roommates.
Okay, please stop.
so
Where
there
did you
was, like,
find
roaches.
these people? How'd you end up in the? How long have
Where
you
we
lived
find
there?
him?
I've
He-
lived there for like almost 2 years now.
Okay, sir, we must get you out of this apartment. Can you
Well, what
go
do you
back
think
and
I'm
live
trying to
with your
do?
mom? I feel like that would be better. No, that's not on the table.
You know,
That's
you just proved my point. My
Well,
thought.
this is another thing too. I don't come from like a rich family, so like my mom doesn't own a house that I could just like move into. My mom's also like unemployed and lives in an apartment that she doesn't own. So like, it's not like I could just move into my mom's place.
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say what I was thinking earlier, and you just solidified it.
Yeah.
I think the reason why you are single. I have so many other things to say, but this is your podcast, so I'm gonna keep it cute. But
Please let us have it,
because
Leah.
child, my heart is beating crazy. I think you're single. You just don't give a fuck, and not in a sense of like you don't like. Let's say if you go on a date with a woman, like you're not gonna like treat her badly or whatever, but you are just so desensitized from just reality, so you're not going out of your way for a woman, and that doesn't mean you don't like her. It's just like you're just living in this bubble. You're just you're just
I would say that's not entirely inaccurate.
Yeah.
I say it is because you're saying that there's all.
No, I'm saying
He
I'm
agrees
agree
with
you.
you.
I'm saying inaccurate.
sorry.
He's saying
Yeah.
you're right.
Sorry,
I'm saying
this is
you're
new
right.
for me. I'm not used to men agreeing with me. I'm so sorry. I would touch you, but the roaches. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. I feel like men like you're not bad guys. You're not like you don't spiritually. You're not a bad person. It's just like when you're who you are, your environment, your upbringing, you being this person that was very sheltered to a degree, shamed if you did this, shamed if you did that, late bloomer. It does kind of accumulate this like thing of like you become this person where your roots are good, like you're a good person, but you're just so like
Complacent.
Yeah, you're just so like, you know what I mean?
It's easier to stay in the same place
Right,
than to
right.
take
So
a risk, put yourself out there, and then potentially fail or be
Right.
rejected.
I'm back in the same place.
Exactly,
I was, yeah.
exactly. I think that's where you're at.
But are you happy with the place you're at?
He won't be.
No.
If you are now,
I
you won't be.
I mean, no, not really. You know,
want change.
I do want change,
Yeah.
but like I can't do that, and it's like
You gotta.
Something has to give first.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna all happen at once. You have to just
Yeah.
take one step at a time.
Yep.
And I do think like your living situation and who you surround yourself with and the energy you're
100%.
around is going to really affect the
Yes.
energy you're able to put out and give. And so I do think like, we were so like, you don't need a job, you're good. But I think until you are able to feel proud and
Right.
just like
Yes,
safe
for
and
yourself.
happy
Yes, yes.
in your space, I actually am taking
Yes.
it back. Like it's gonna be really hard to date somebody meaningfully.
Because that root, because baby, when I used to work at Jumbo Juice back in the day, Jumbo Juice making $7 an hour, you couldn't tell me shit. You couldn't tell me nothing because I was working. I had my little job, and then you know what I'm saying. I think just even
even
having
just like having like a sense of purpose. Like I don't need
Right,
to have
right.
a job in like tech. I will work anywhere. The problem is that like landing a job, like even as like a
Yeah.
cashier or bartender, like I straight up I have gotten interviews for like bartending gigs, but like they look at my resume and they see I've worked in tech and they just don't even look at me because they know.
Yeah.
I'm only taking that job out.
Well, the problem is you're not lying. You need to lie when you
need
apply.
to do lie.
Beef
You
up
need to
your
lie on these
resume.
applications.
No,
Yes, I've lied on every
I
job.
dumb down my resume and take out, all the extra super fluff that I
I
usually
feel like
use.
surely if you are willing to do the work, if you're willing to show up, if you answer your phone, like you can get a job. Like
See,
there
you
is.
would think that. You would. Think
I do
that.
think that.
Yeah.
You're telling me that's not the case.
That is not the
I think
case.
you
Not in
just-
this market.
Are you on the dating apps right now?
I'm on the dating apps.
Can we look at your profile?
I guess I'll pull up Hinge.
No, you're good. Okay, let's take a look at this Hinge profile. Leah, get over here.
Girl.
Okay, that first photo is a no. You can't even tell what you look
That's
like.
not even you. That's
not
not.
even-
That's
not even-
Jersey Shore. What's his?
Mike from Jersey Shore.
Like-
Wait, is this you dancing?
That is me dancing.
You've had a lot of different facial hair.
Oh no.
I would say no to that as well. Although your beard's giving like Dan Bilzerian. A dream home must okay, my dream home must include no infestation of roaches. Just kidding, it doesn't say that. A decked out home gym, a state-of-the-art home theater / records room, a really, really nice fucking kitchen. Sir.
I would say kitchen because it seems like you don't eat much. So I feel like a place.
Oh, thank you. I do eat actually.
Okay, well, what's the answer?
I mean, probably. I guess. All of them really.
You did it. What do you mean?
Yeah.
You want all these
Like
things.
you actually wrote
Yeah,
it.
I
like
mean,
you wrote the.
the
how do
whole
you not
point.
know?
I mean, I
The
felt
point is
the
to
whole
like
point
see what people
is
they
to
say.
see what people think. Yeah,
What
and
they
then it starts
think, what
to
they
come- yeah,
want.
it's
You're
about what they-
manipulative,
There
okay.
is no right answer.
My simple pleasures include small intimate music venues, a joint circle, silly socks, 5-inch shorts, Alamo season pass, hitting a new gym PR, new comic Wednesday, morning Brazilian jiu-jitsu rolls, heavy bag workouts, finally solving a bouldering problem.
Well, 3 things. The list is too long.
I would agree.
Who the fuck are you?
Narrow
The
that
list
down
is
to
too-
3
Narrow it down.
things.
2, you're naming things that half of the things you can't afford off of what you told me. 3, I really was rooting for you. I really was rooting for you.
What happened?
Continue.
I think you need to make this a smaller list and think about like what is a woman
Stuff that I would want a woman to be.
Yeah,
not what a
is she
friend
gonna
would want.
relate
Yeah.
to
Wait, are you
Brazilian
from-
jiu-jitsu? Like probably not.
Well, because I feel like I was talking to my friend about this. There's this like stigma, like all the men are gay. They want boys. And it's like, do we all think that men are gay? No, but it's like a lot of men want boyfriends. They want the girlfriend, but they want the girlfriend to do boy stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
no,
Remove
yeah,
all
she's
the-
not doing jujitsu.
She wants to like go like travel to a new city, go on a
go
spontaneous
to Target
road trip.
and talk in Target.
Well, I agree with all of those except for the music thing. I do want to go.
Okay, that's
That's fine.
like-
We
that's
love
the
music.
one- Girls
Like,
like
that's
music
okay.
too.
But don't bring her out to a music festival where it's 8 hours long.
Oh, I
and,
No, see, I agree
and
with
she has,
no.
and she
The
has
girl
to
that I
sit.
would want to date would want to be at a music festival. That's 8 hours long.
but not for a first date. No one.
No, yeah, not
Yeah,
for
maybe
first.
not for a first
Not
date.
for first.
Wait, we need to
maybe-
talk about this. What you're seeking: short-term relationship, open to long, low-key, a little shy, looking for someone to vibe with, romance, go on cute dates, call pretty, forehead kiss, and toss around a bit once I get comfortable.
You want to.
Sure,
You want to
toss
step.
around a bit.
You want a stepmother. That is what that's. You want a mother that is a
What
step
kind of
to you.
stepmother
That
are you thinking? That is-
No, that's a stepmom position. A stepmom is going to give you a little, but not too much. A little forehead kiss, a little this and that. A little a confirmation in who you are, but like she don't really fuck with you because she really fucking with your dad. Like that's let's give a stepmom.
I don't know.
That's what you want.
This Freddie Mercury pick. Okay, this group pick is a no. There's way too many people in it. I don't even. Are you in this photo?
Yeah, I'm in it. I have a beard in it. I think it's. Yeah.
Freddie Mercury.
That's you.
That's him dressed as Freddie Mercury, which I don't like this because it's like weirdly cropped
Halloween.
and like
Yeah, that
it's a
was
selfie.
Halloween.
But I am down with the Halloween
I'm
pick
too good
because
at
you
this.
truly do look. And then this is just too far away. You squatting at the gym. You've had so much different facial.
So far away.
Wait, I like this one. I do like the crowd surfing. That's a funny one because that shows like your fun, your sense of music. It's actually low key a really high quality photo. It's
And
good.
you do look really hot
It's
now.
in the second half of your profile.
But
Yeah,
it's
you
everything
do.
else.
One thing I like to know about you is what your Spotify blend looks like. Music is my love language. Okay,
Honey,
that's a good prompt.
no, not at 32. No, we're not gonna do that. No, at
Why?
32, that's goofy. At 32, we're like, I just want you to know that. I just want to know that we both like Tame Impala. Like,
Tame Impala.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Well, the music taste, similar music taste, that is actually like a thing I actually do care about. Like if I match with a girl, so on my Bumble profile, one of my prompts is, what was the last concert you went to? And a girl matched with me and she responded, a year ago.
And you were like, unmatch.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, beggars can't be choosers.
well, that part.
Okay, you're a kitty cat. I like cats. How do you
Okay.
feel about a single man with a cat?
Problem.
No.
I
The right
maybe
girl
I'm
for
biased
you
because I had a
will-
cat that ran away from me. His name was Hayes after
Well,
Purple Haze.
unfortunately, the cat's not leaving. So
No, I agree.
Yeah.
The cat.
But that being said, though, I do think
That is
there is
important to show,
maybe, I think there is something to say about maybe having a picture of me and my cat.
Yeah.
on my
Yeah,
profile.
maybe wait to tell her about the cat once she like likes you.
I don't know, because I've gone back and forth, because like I have girlfriends that say like, no, like if I see a guy with a cat, that's like an immediate green flag. That's an immediate swipe right.
But also
I
it shows
hear
you like to
no.
play with the
Yeah.
pussy. So,
I feel like
I don't
women
know.
are more likely to say no to the cat, but either way, this
think
isn't this isn't the best picture of you and the cat. You could do better, but I'm not against having the cat. Get ahead of it. If girl doesn't like the cat, she's not for you. Whatever. But yeah, your profile is a
mess.
C minus D. You need new photos. You need some good photos. Ooh, let's get a photo of you on a podcast. How does I use this damn Android?
You know, like kind of.
People are gonna be like, "Oh, he's famous." Give me your photos. You know, I'm just gonna do it on mine. I have an iPhone. It'll be better quality. I'm gonna send this to you after. Okay, look like you're talking about something important. Move
Like
the water
be
bottle.
serious. Actually, no, the
water
water's
bottle.
good because they're
It
like, he's
looks
not an
natural.
alcoholic. He's not an alcoholic. It's great. He's
Sit
drinking
up a little
water.
straighter. Okay, look at me. Are you looking at me?
Yep.
Oh, look at the camera.
No, I think you should look away. It's kind of scary.
Look like you're
Look at
talking.
me.
Yeah,
Am
like,
I looking
we're-
at the camera
look
or
at
this
me, look, we're
camera?
talking.
Oh, we're talking?
Yeah,
What do we-
and so more
yeah.
about the
Yeah, stuff and things.
Okay, that's great. Women are gonna be like, "Oh, he's
wow.
important."
Dang.
People care what he has
what
to
breed
say.
of roach? Yeah, they're gonna be
Okay, no, this is good. You just got your best profile photo
You just
for
got
your
your next
dating app.
visit to the clinic.
You're welcome. Okay, that's great. At least we've made one step in the right direction. Okay, so you're gonna update your profile. You need to come up with some good free date ideas.
You're just asking for too much when you can't even provide half
Yeah.
of the thing. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real simple. Be like, food, air. What's up?
No.
Bitch is gonna be like, oh shit, I love them things. Like you just be like,
I love breathing.
literally, like, you know. And I think a lot of girls, I mean, even though, you know, we're gorgeous and all that, we are the girl. I feel like we're the girlies. Like, I'm cool with a picnic. Like,
Yeah.
I'm cool with the let's go to the
No,
park.
let's talk about the top 3 date ideas that you can afford. Okay, go on a walk. Like,
Yes.
surely you can like bring some beverages, some
Like,
sparkling
exactly.
water.
I love those dates.
Yeah.
Those are so great.
Yeah. So I'm like, let's go on. Like, I love Zilker Park.
Yeah.
I know the best spot in Zilker to watch the sunset.
You can watch people.
Bring a
and that's fun.
blanket. Yeah. So there you go. That's free date number 1. Walking Ladybird Trail. Like, hey, do like want to get your
That dead
steps
body
in?
or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or like you, like a true crime. Let's look at where they found that last body. No, don't say that. It's kind of creepy.
God bless. God bless.
People hate on walking dates. My first date with my husband was a walk, so it can be done. So you've got a picnic, you bring a drink. You've got Ladybird
Yes.
Lake, going on a little walk. The Bat Bridge, like watching the bats come out at sunset.
On South Congress. Right?
Yeah. There's a lot of actually like very
Free shit.
affordable dates, and if you can take her on a free date, and you can if you have great conversation and you make her feel good and you make her laugh, like you'll get a second
Yes,
date.
if you plan it well. I think that's really what plan it well. If you reach out to her and say, hey, this is what I want to do. You know, I want to see you again. Let's
Name the place, name the time, tell her what
and
to bring.
stamp it and like that is what it is.
Get there in advance.
Yes.
Make sure that
Yes.
there's like the plan is going to work. Go on the date by yourself first to
Right?
iron
Ooh,
out
that's
any
good.
hitches.
Yes. Sure, because I had to drop a dude a couple of days ago because they wanted to hang out with me and reached out to me. And I was like, fine. And then they're like, well, I'm going to be ready at this time. I said, I'll be ready at this time. And there was nothing left. And so they call me and they're like, where are you? And I'm like, in my life. I'm like, what do you mean? You didn't give me anything.
He just thought you were going to show up.
Yeah,
and he
or I
didn't
think he thought that I was
reconfirm.
going to be like, so where are we going to go? No, you asked me out. You figure it out. You're a grown person. You can figure it out.
I think that goes along, like, literally just making and
goes
communicating
a
a
long
clear
way.
plan will put you leaps and bounds
sure
ahead
will.
of many other men.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the men that have set reservations, I'm like,
And if you go on a few dates with a girl, maybe she'll invite you back to her place.
sure will.
You can say, I'm kind of in between places right now. I'm looking for something new.
She'll be okay with that because she feels comfortable with you.
I have roommates
Yeah.
that I don't love, so then you go back to her place.
We just giving you game, man. We giving you game.
Does that feel like doable?
Yeah.
I also think like it sounds like women are approaching you and talking to you. Like you need to take them up on these opportunities. Like that's so many guys would die for that to happen. Do you know how many guys I talk to? Like women never approach me. Your mustache is doing all the work for you.
Yeah.
I think women are approaching you because you seem safe. I think women do the same thing men do. I think a lot of men.
I've been told that explicitly.
That you feel safe.
Yeah.
I'm not professional, y'all. I'm just around. It's because like.
It's like less intimidating than like approaching Brad Pitt. But I think it's underselling the fact that Jacob is handsome and feels welcoming and feels like somebody who they could talk to. Like it is a good thing women are approaching you and you should be taking advantage
Because
of
I think the root of that is a form of safety. I think at the end of the day, whether you're hot, attractive, whatever, I just think women, we approach or feel more comfortable with men that just make us feel welcomed and safe. Like I've been with really attractive men that I was scared for my life. Just being around
You
them.
just didn't feel good.
You're not walking around like you are an attractive man, but you're not walking around like you are, if that makes sense. Like you're not giving off this energy of like I'm too
Well,
good for
I am
you.
wearing more clothes than I usually do. I do tend to dress a little slutty. So I wear like super short shorts.
Man, I'm trying to help you, bro. I'm trying to be there. I'm trying to be on your team, honestly. You want me to be an enemy so bad, and I think I'm about to be there because
Hot take, being a virgin is not a problem. And I actually don't think you need to fess up and
you're
tell
a
her
virgin.
that.
Oh, no, I know.
He's a virgin.
How have you been here?
Well, like I said before, I don't go on date. Like it's not something.
Are you with us, Leah?
Not anymore. Not anymore. Where am I?
Okay.
This makes all the sense.
It was the whole opening line of why he's
I didn't know that's what you
here.
said. I have bad hearing. I was adopted. I'm sorry. I was neglected as a child. I don't know hearing. I didn't.
We just glazed right over
Girl,
that.
I was just like, oh, here's another man that's in distress. I didn't know he was fucking.
No, but what I was saying is I really don't believe, like, you don't need to go around telling everyone, I'm a virgin. Like, granted, if you're dating a woman, it's probably something that you're going to want to be honest about because she's going to find out after and then she may feel deceived. But if this is like you're going to a bar, you're having some fun, you take a girl not to your house, you go back to her house, and it happens, you don't need to bring it up proactively in advance.
I have two things. One, why, again, there's no right or wrong answer, but why are you a virgin? And my second thing is, have you been in a situation where you came very close to losing your virginity? Like very, very close.
Yeah.
Like milk to tea.
Why didn't it happen?
I mean, well, one, I was just not. One position, one time it was I was just too drunk.
Oh no.
Yeah.
couldn't perform.
Well, no, not that I couldn't perform. I just came to my senses and I realized, oh, I'm not actually attracted to this person at all. So, and
Welcome
I
to
have,
being a woman.
huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, and I have had girls like ask me like straight up, do you want to have sex? And I just say like, oh no, I'm not ready for that. But really, it's because I'm just not physically attracted to the person.
Okay. So we need to up the level of women who want to have sex.
Then
with
you'll be
you.
a whore. Got you.
Have you ever thought about just like getting it over with?
Like paying for it?
No. Well, I mean, I guess
yeah.
sure. I guess
Sure,
you have
yeah.
thought about that.
Yes,
Not what I meant, though.
Yes and yes, I have thought about it. One, well, the whole paying thing again, unemployed.
No
unemployed.
money.
Yeah,
No money to pay for it.
Can pay for it.
Have
And
you thought
two,
about doing OnlyFans?
I would.
Surely there's a Freddie Mercury
That's a
fan
fetish.
club.
You being-
Yeah, but then
you
the other
being
thing
a
is if
virgin.
I have to show my face, that it could pop up in a job interview.
I don't think you have to. I dated a man that had hips as big as Aretha Franklin, and I told him, I said, you need to put that on the camera.
Yeah.
No face, no case.
Well, like if you're going for the Freddie Mercury look-alike vibe, you would have to show your face to benefit from that.
Oh yeah.
And like if I want to make money off it, like I'm probably gonna get, I need to get enough attention to make enough money from it, and in that case, it's gonna pop up in a job interview. However, so I could do it without showing my face. Yeah, I'm all for that.
Oh.
I would be totally for that.
Interesting.
But you're not for fucking. Sorry, having sex with a lady. Well,
I know, but I mean, I've gotten close. Yeah, I haven't stuck my penis in a vagina, but I have done other things.
Sure. It's kind of sounding like the women that, again, there's so many women that are just like, running in traffic for you. Yeah. Are these necessarily, like, I don't want to say decent, because it just sounds like you're not attracted to any of these women that want to fuck you. So do you think there's like a correlation there, like, or a reasoning, I guess? Like,
well, we need to get you a better dating app profile so that you have a better top of funnel. But
you need to be in a different area. Like, again, I'm not here to judge. I'm not going to say this woman that looks like this or this man looks like that, blah, blah, blah. But I do think that if you're in certain environments, if you're in an environment where there's lackluster women, where they're just like...
No, I'd say, but most of them, I'd say a good amount of women who approach me are like women that I do find attractive.
But
you're just choosing to be to struggle.
I just
you're just
usually they'll give me a compliment. I'm like, oh, thank you, and then I don't really.
So you want anything? Like, what do you like?
But that comes back to the complacency thing that we were talking about earlier. I think you are currently lacking the confidence in your life to take advantage of those opportunities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what comes first, like the horse or the cart?
Right.
What are you gonna choose to tackle to solve any number of these issues in your life that need solving? The new apartment, the job, the getting laid, the getting experience. What's it gonna be first?
And honestly,
well, I mean, it would probably be the job for us.
But also, I think if you're just sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the job, and then the apartment, and then the other stuff can come.
And which is fine. I think if you are just honest, which I think a lot of men do not understand, because there's a stigma of women that if you tell us the truth, we're going to just freak out, blah, blah, blah. If you tell us the truth, we will be so okay with...
I've had experiences where I have told the truth.
About being a virgin?
About being a virgin, yeah, and I have straight up been made fun of.
What do you mean? What's the context in which that happens?
Well, yeah, I mean, the last girl I dated, I told, we made out first, so, yeah, we went on a first date, been really good, and then we went on a second date. I met up at her place, and we made out. We had a pretty good makeout session, and then the date was going to a show. Actually, the profile picture of me crowd surfing, that's actually from that second date.
You're like, later chick, I'm crowd surfing.
Yeah. That is actually literally what I said. Oh. We went back to her place, though. We went back to her place.
Okay, so the day went well. Second date, you went back to her place, and you were like, things were getting hot and heavy, and you're like, listen, I'm a virgin.
No. It didn't come up then. Yeah, things were getting hot and heavy, and so we leave her apartment to go to the show, and we see the show. And then, like, on the way, as we're walking to the show, the conversation comes up about, like, what are your experiences, your dating app experiences on Hinge? Like, have you been in a relationship? But I told her, no, I have not been in a relationship. And then that's when that's when I told her about the whole virgin thing. And then
what did she say?
She said, that I actually don't mind that. The last 3 guys I dated were actually older virgins as well.
She's just like a virgin slayer? So
apparently,
you're saying she laughed at you, though?
No, that's that's a different girl. Or different women. Yeah, so, I told her that, and it wasn't like a big deal for her at first. And then I met up later that week. I met up at her place. And I can understand from her perspective, I was probably getting, I guess, a little bit. I guess part of it, we were making out a lot, but I was like initiating a lot of the making out. And
right, so it's like you're initiating all this like sexual tension, and then to be like, oh, whoa,
yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, and she felt like it was
misleading.
Not misleading, just like there was a lot of pressure because she felt I was putting a lot of pressure on her because I haven't had any experience. So like I'm kind of like using her to make up for that.
Right.
And then there was a combination, and again, I can get where she's coming from. So it was a combination of that, and then also on top of the whole unemployed thing.
She just didn't see it going.
It was just a lot going on.
The spark that she felt on the second date. Just sort of, it just eventually faded.
Yeah.
That honeymoon phase that happens. It just eventually faded. And we're good friends still. Like we have hung out, but like now,
That's a good sign.
yeah.
Well, that's a good sign that shows that you are a good person. And,
Yeah, that she like still
yeah.
likes you.
But like I said earlier, I just think again, I don't think you're.
And and like I said, we're friends now. I wouldn't want to date her. I don't think anymore. Again, because she's spiritual and I'm not spiritual.
Okay.
I don't think I've actually talked to her about that specific part. But yeah, then she was also dealing with a bunch of horror stuff in her own personal life. It was a whole.
Okay. Anyway,
list
she
of
wasn't
stuff.
it.
Yeah, she wasn't
Got it. But you said there was another woman who laughed in your face.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have been like made fun of. Like I had a roommate that like made fun of me one time. Yeah.
You care more about this than anybody else does, it sounds like. I truly think like the job, the virginity, these are all things that you are saying. Like I get that it feels like a big deal. It is a big deal. These are like big things for you. But if you truly accept them about yourself, there are going to be plenty of women out there who will also accept you for who you are.
Absolutely.
But I do think first and foremost, the cockroach situation must be addressed.
Baby, look, I don't even let men bring me to their home if they don't have napkins. So the fact you got roaches.
There's no way Jacob has napkins. No.
What do you use for toilet paper? Like
I use
towel?
toilet paper one. Yeah.
Is it see-through?
No.
Double ply?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more.
Well, okay, that's one point.
Well, let me shut the fuck up. My bad. Yeah, you got.
No, and I don't know. There's no point of wasting money on, paper towels are like a environmental waste. You just get, cloth
Okay,
towels.
no, they're a necessity. Anyways.
No, you get cloth towels. You just reuse them and put.
But
them
are
in
you
the wash
washing them?
Yeah, you wash them. You sanitize them. You put them in hot water.
I don't want to have an aneurysm at 31. And just find something that like makes you feel self-worthy, if that makes sense.
But I feel like you have that. You have like your music. You have your working out. You have
you can
your
still not feel
Brazilian
self-worth.
jiu-jitsu. Yeah, but I agree. Like there is an opportunity to invest in yourself, like gain self-confidence, get that job. You have an interview coming up. We believe in you. And I think that will translate to a lot more opportunities and a lot more development. But Jacob, you've given us so much great information. Thank you for being open and sharing. Like, I believe in you. You have the base. You have like the vibe, the energy. Yeah. It's just about cultivating it and making some tweaks. And I believe that you will land that job, get out of that roach-infested apartment, and find a woman who loves you for you.
But also accepts you for you.
Yeah.
Like, find a woman that is like, okay, you're not exactly where you want to be financially, so whatever.
Yeah. And Leah, thank you for your wise advice. Where can we find you online?
First of all, thank you for also accepting my trauma. You can find me at official Lea'h Sampson on all platforms, but obviously mostly on Instagram. My link to everything else is in my bio on there. So
yay, thank you.
Sorry, I have a little Hulu special. Watch that, please.
Check the girl out on Hulu. And if you are looking to hire someone to do just about anything, get in touch and we can connect you with Jacob.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you, Jacob.